Uh, what happened? I clicked the button? I wasn't supposed to come on yet. Okay, we're back for part 2 of Murder Co Voodoo Dolls. We had a bit of a rough going on part 1, which was just a few hours ago. We're trying something that I think can best be described and was described by me as ill-advised, which is we're trying to marathon a bunch of this in one day. We played a 5-hour session that really should have only been 3 or 4 hours. We ran into a heck of a glitch on the website and took us a while. In fact, I want to talk about that little bit of puzzle here at the end, but we decided we would play part 2 of 3 parts. There are 3 sections in this, 3 episodes, and we're going to play part 2 now, and then probably we'll stop for the night. Although there's always the possibility that we'll play a 3rd one later tonight. And maybe this is a good time to familiarize all of you with the concept known as Type 2 fun, or Type B fun. And that's the fun that comes in the morning after. Like you go on the 50-mile bike ride, and it's painful and exhausting, and then you wake up in the next morning, and in your mind, you've had fun the previous day. Like it's fun that you did it. The memory of it is fun. And that's what a lot of this channel is. As the days and weeks go by, the memories take on some fun. They're not always fun in the moment. Sometimes they're frustrating. So at the end of the last session, we had to answer 2 questions. One was a timeline calculation, which seemed trivial, but we had a lot of trouble putting it in. And the second one was who to eliminate as a suspect. And we sort of got to this thing, and we knew one of our suspects is this guy, Sorcerer. And we sort of, this is a good case. This happens a lot in games where you sort of get a feeling of what the game wants from you. You get a feeling of what the designers were after. And then once you do, it's like a magic trick. Your biases kick in and make it make sense because you're convinced it should make sense. And I do want to point out here that we actually got the right answer, but we sort of slipped up. Mostly I slipped up, but Nelson pointed it out in Discord afterwards, that if you actually look at this, so I said, okay, this is Central Standard Time, this is not an alibi, it's on the 9th, and then the channel pointed out, no, it's China time, and so it's in China, +8, so actually it's 13 hours ahead, and so he said, aha, yes, let's give this guy an alibi. But as Nelson points out, actually, if you go back 13 hours, you don't get an alibi for our murder. Even if you went back 24 hours, then it would be 1 p.m. on the 8th, which is still is after we think our guy disappeared. So actually a 13-hour difference doesn't give you an alibi. Now there's two ways you could try to solve it. The first one is you could say, well, if this was in China and the guy had to fly to China, then we could have said, okay, it's a 13-hour difference and then a 20-hour flight. That would alibi him. But it's Call of Duty Warfare, which is an online game. Is there any hint that this was in person? Because it was online, it wouldn't help you. And I think the answer to this actually is kind of weird. Look what it says here. Tournament results are final. Tournament times and dates are set on Beijing, China, CST +8, +1 day. U.S. players who missed their time slot due to time zone confusion will not be refunded. So it feels to me like they messed this up. They realize after the fact that this is not an alibi. And so they've added this line that said, tournament times are set China +1 day. I mean, you can't have a headline of a conference and say it's, this is happening at 8 p.m. Eastern time on, August 9th. And then in the little fine print, you say, hey, add 1 day to this schedule. But shame on us for not noticing that this is faulty. But boy, is this bizarre. So I feel like we've got basically classic Kickstarter situation, which is all of the effort goes into building the Kickstarter advert event. And then once it gets funded, there's no motivation to work on the game. You've got all the money. What's the point in playtesting, refining, finding bugs? So a little bit of a rough feeling about this Murder Co game. On the other hand, some of those documents were really fantastic. Let's see how episode 2 goes, but this is a good example of why it's so... I wake up and I think, every day I wake up with this channel and get onto a stream, I think how wonderful it is to not have any feeling like I've gotten this game free from the publisher and I'm nervous about saying bad things. I'm just so glad we found a way around that. All right, let's open the box and get into episode 2. We've got one murdered man we don't know, we think was a criminal and was talking about the gold and was a part of this gang. And we've got 4 or 5 people in this voodoo gang. And our detective, who's a friend with one of them from childhood, has gone undercover to infiltrate it and has now disappeared. So now we have a missing person and a dead person and a gang involvement. And that's basically all we know. We don't really know what this gang is up to. The weird thing about the gold is some other group seems to have found it. So I'm not even sure how that plays out. All right. And then this wants us to open it by tearing this, but it doesn't actually do anything when you do tear it. And you tear it and then nothing happened because this is weird. Okay, this says file 2. This we just assume is connected to file 2 because it's the only envelope directly below it. But actually, this is the contents really of file 2. And in this box, in this bag marked file 2 is just some prop. Now, what is the prop in here? I can take a guess. Oh, I guess I'm going to be wrong. All right, we got a necklace, a gold, looks like a gold, maybe a gold doubloon from Pirate Treasure. It's in a bag marked evidence. And then we've got a full scarf that you could wear. I don't know if this has some political meaning these days, but it's got a very heavy chemical smell. Very heavy chemical smell. All right, and then a bag that says Queen Lovely's Voodoo Private Tours Readings. This is the company. Wow, is it really supposed to smell so strongly? This is the Voodoo company. Oh boy. Yeah, that's the smell. Wow, it's some sort of incense. Did I just get poisoned by the beetles? Did I just get poisoned by the beetles? All right, there's some colored fabric that's disintegrating. And this is some sort of perfumey branch, and it's creating a huge mess on the table. All right. So when we get the props like the alligator magnifying glass, you hear me say, I don't need that. I don't want to pay for that. But this is the worst of all those worlds. It's a big, giant, smelly incense that's leaving dirt and dust everywhere. All right. Not what I bargained for. All right, let's take a look at this though. So it's a little necklace. It looks like a doubloon though, but let's see. Maeve O'Sullivan, there's her case. Missing officer offense, Eric Gear. She says suspect's full name is Beck Bean Maggie Hebert. I don't know why those are the suspects. She says it's sealed 5:07 p.m. and it's got a chain of custody. August 12th and then August 15th. So from Maeve to the lab, and then from the lab, Liz back to Maeve. Condition of evidence is sealed. Recovered from the van, the I-Haul van. License plate DXP 968. Okay, so apparently this was found in the van. Let's take a look at it. It's a big... Is it a little creature on it? What is that? Some sort of voodoo sign? Is it the sun? I think it's a sun. I think it's the eyes of a sun, like eyes on a sun or something. I can't quite tell. And then some little punches in the back. Okay. Is it real gold? Actually, don't forget, this box is not the $300 box. This is the $110 box. All right. I wonder what that incense thing was. I think it was the beetle smell. They were looking for gold in the swamp. They sure were. And it looks like, from what we saw, what we read, someone did find it. All right, let's see what we've got here. So here's our assignment. Here's what's in the box, and here's our assignment. Double objective: eliminate a suspect, and what was the toxin made from? Well, we were told the toxin was made from the beetle, but that was on the autopsy sheet that I'm not sure they intended to give out. Wait, look. The toxicology report, was it supposed to be in box 2? Was the toxicology report from box 1 supposed to be in box 2? But didn't it have the answer to the puzzle? So if it wasn't in box 2, I mean, here was the toxicology report that was part of the errata that got emailed to me. Are they now saying it was in box 2, but you needed it to solve the puzzle in box 1? Boy, that's weird. Let me just see if the printed toxicology report is here and they didn't mess up. Lots of nice documents here. Wanted posters. Another full investigative report. Toxicology. Oh, I see. It's going to be the other guy's toxicology. Okay. That makes sense. All right. So it feels like we know the answer to this one. What was the toxin made from? But maybe they're using different toxins for different things. All right. Let's get started. Got a little report here. Waffle Hens, August 9th, 2024. It's picking up right where we left off. Interview with Pat Garland. Pat worked morning shift at Waffle Hens. Waffle Hens? What is that? Waffle Hens? 4:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., August 8th, 2024. Let me just turn on the air conditioner here. Pat said she knows Sarah very well. Pat stated that Sarah, her cousin Ellis, and her sister's Bean came in for breakfast sometime after 10. What is her sister Bean? Came in sometime after 10. Sarah took her food to go because she said she needed to get back to the shop. Everyone else stayed to eat. Showed her photos of Eric, Marcus, and Jacob. She said that none of them were there, but had been in the past. August 11th, she goes to I-Haul, following up on the cargo van rental. She checked the mileage, talked to the clerk at the front desk of I-Haul, Dana Brown. She printed a copy of the invoice for the white cargo van rental. I think that's the one we already got, right? Feels like it's talking like it's not. Feels like it's not sure. Talking about things being in different boxes. That's kind of weird. Bo, you think that's supposed to say her sister's Bo? All right, I guess that thing that looks like an N is a U. All right, that might make some sense because that might explain why we read in one thing it said Bo, and then when we looked up his name, it looked like he was Bean. Okay, so his name is Beck Bo, and that's a U. Okay. She goes to I-Haul, talked to the clerk at the front desk, Dana Brown. She printed a copy of the invoice for white cargo van rental. Seems like we already seen that. Checked mileage, 936 miles added to the vehicle after rental. Really? 936 miles? Gold necklace with coin found under mat. Interior wheel well, passenger side cargo area. Impounding vehicle for fingerprint analysis. Okay, it's found under the mat of the wheel well in the passenger side. Interior wheel well. Under mat, interior wheel well. Not even sure what that means. Does that mean back seat? Eric's missing person has is now a situation under investigation. Officers from both Jefferson Parish and St. Tammany's Parish are now joining the search. Boy, that's a mouthful. Let me just see if that's grammatical. Eric's missing person is now a situation under investigation. Officers? What? Am I missing something? I will be under investigation too if I don't find him. All of the suspects will be brought in for questioning starting tomorrow. I will not be allowed in the interview rooms. I will be on field work only until Eric is found. Okay, then she goes to Crescent City Motel. Wheel well is where you put your feet. Okay. Crescent City Motel, August 12th. And boy, if you can do a worse job of writing a 1, you let me know. Crescent City Motel, interview with Holly Madison, hotel manager. Time 75:25. I'm here to ask about the hotel guests, Maggie Hebert and Beck Bow, otherwise known as Beck Bean. Miss Madison showed me guest log check-in. I photographed the pages for evidence of all guests checked in for the month of August. Me, pointing to alias for Maggie check-in date. Oh, she's saying what she did. She points to the alias. She says, have you seen the woman who checked in under this name since her checkout on August 7th? Holly, yes. She and her partner checked back into the hotel 2 days ago under a different name. Did she show you ID for check-in? I have a lot of hourly rentals in this place, ma'am. I don't ask a lot of questions. They pay cash up front and I hand them a key. Keeps things real simple. Okay. Do they get any visitors coming in and out of here? Not really. Last time the lady was here was back in March, but she was alone. Look here at the dates. Checked in 3/10/24 and then out 3/27/24 under the name Mirage Gabshi. She comes here a lot. Well, at least twice over the last year. Comes in to see her kin. She has family here? Lady, that is her sister, I think, and a cousin, maybe more. Not quite sure, just overheard them talking in the courtyard one night. That's about all I know. Anything out of order when she stays? Out of the order when she stays? Nope. Leaves the place spotless inside from the stink of that sage she's always burning. I guess it's sage. What is she saying? She has family here. Lady, that is her sister, I think. And a cousin. Maybe more. Are they there now? We ask. Not that I've seen. Van hasn't pulled up any time I've been in, and they haven't requested housekeeping. Notes. Informal interviews were conducted by other officers with Sarah LeBlanc at her place of business. Queen Lovely's Jacob Hernandez at Total Security, LLC under his name, and Marcus Davis at his home. Interviewing officer noted that Marcus was no longer employed at Mercedes of Crescent City. No arrests can be made until we find gear. Both Maggie and Beck have fallen off the face of the earth. Stakeout in front of hotel has led to nothing. August 73, 2026. No, August 13, 2024. Queen Lovely's. 10:25 a.m. All right, I'm going to stop making that joke. Against my better judgment, I'm booking a tour on the Black Caesar's Hidden Treasure Tour guided by Sarah LeBlanc. I am not met or interviewed Sarah up until this point. Okay, so double quotes start and they never end. Or do they end here? No, they just don't end. I've not met or interviewed Sarah up until this point, bought a couple of gift shop items, and learned on the tour that the original map that the pirate made was marked with many tunnel entrances and exits. The portion of the map that Queen Lovelace has for their tour was found under the floorboards in her shop only a few years ago. This shop was the original home of the famous pirate and his wife Maria. Each of the entrances was worked on the map using a Vev, which is a religious symbol in what is now Louisiana voodoo. Sarah tells the story that the tunnels are now impassable due to the high water table, and the one that could be entered was used to find the hidden treasure of her family's hidden fortune, but was not on the piece of map that was found here. He's got a Jacob's Total Security sticker in the window, this shop. Yes, we know she bought security camera from them. This is pronounced a veve, says Dorian. It's supposed to have accent marks above the E's to pronounce as hard A's. Okay, a veve, a religious symbol in voodoo. Okay, next up, August 22nd, 2024, 10:38 a.m. And then what's up here? Pages are numbered. Okay, she numbered the pages 9, 10. I don't know why I didn't notice that before. 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe this connects with our previous notes. She says 911 call came in just after 9 a.m. Report of black male found in sinkhole. I arrived at the scene a few minutes after 10 a.m. Eric's body laid under some loose dirt and debris at a construction site about 30 feet below ground level, a few miles east of Slidell. First look, Eric's footprints lead from west down a long underground tunnel until Tommy. Tunnel operations and maintenance inspection and evaluation service come in. We can only proceed a few feet into the passage. Single set of footprints are everywhere in this area, matched tread on Eric's shoe. Hand marks on the walls. I wonder if that means he's dying of toxins and just wandering about, flailing about till he dies. Physical notes, Detective Gear's body is bloated beyond recognition. At first sight, no signs of struggle, no marks on wrist, neck, no blood spots on chest, neck, or head. Hands are black from blood bruising under skin. Wow, rough. Knuckles are crushed. No sign of bullet holes or stab wounds. Lots of bites or blisters around the mouth. Tongue is swollen about 5 times larger than should be. Skin is gray, eyes are open. Arm is slung over midsection. Traces of body fluid on walls and ground around body. Shirt is covered in vomit. Compacted dirt has imprints from what looks like punching. Appears Eric was punching the wall. Body looks to have been in a resting sitting position against south wall. Forensics will be in to take samples. Wow, that's a brutal murder scene. Sounds like he died of poison and he had it rough before he went. Looks like all of those old tunnels weren't all filled up with water after all. Oh, look at this cool thing. Here's a little diagram she drew. All right, that's pretty cool. Let's see. There's his body up against the wall. Handprints, indentation, knuckle impressions, and scratching. So it looks like he's punching the wall. He came in, punched the wall, punched the wall, punched the wall, bound off here, and then died here. This is dirt wall. East of body, dirt from above that came down when construction worker broke the earth. These are all footprints belonging to Eric. Body found leaning against south wall, left arm slung over stomach. Left arm slung over stomach. Body bloated. Okay, that's pretty gruesome. All right, so those are notes from August 9th to August 22nd when the body is found. Let's take a look at skim through the other documents and see if we can date them. Here's August 8th. Then we've got receipts back on the 17th. 8/11, June 23. That's a older newspaper. 8/26. I guess we don't have any really good reason not to go through these in order here, so that's what we'll do. Okay. What can you do with acetone and bleach? Is this someone's search history? Remember, we saw a receipt for the purchase of acetone and bleach. I don't know if this is our detective searching, like, why would someone buy acetone and bleach? I mixed acetone and bleach and left it outside. Can produce chloroform, which is hazardous chemical. Long-term exposure can be hazardous to liver. Okay, acetone and bleach can make chloroform. That's a little lesson for us. Making chloroform from acid. In this video, I'll show you how to make chloroform. Yikes. Okay. Then we've got another guest check at table 12. That's where our guy Gear used to leave notes to his handler. 4 large Cokes. Sounds like he was here with a bunch of people. And the note he left on the back was tunnels with the LS underlined. Tunnels, LS. Where's our list of his code words? Does he have any code word LS? Not really. And then there's this with a website. Pradavana Secomo. Travis called here looking for Marcus. What is this? Wasps have been used in voodoo rituals, used as hosts for comification. Insects have also been used in other black magic in South China. The poison container and allowing them to eat each other. The poison container, more bad grammar, and allowing them to eat each other. The last surviving larva would contain the poison. Maybe you put the poison. Oh, I see. It's not bad grammar. It just goes across. Wasps have been used in voodoo rituals, and cockroaches have been used as hosts for comification. Comification? Insects have also been used in other practices, including goo, a venom-based poison used in black magic in South China. The poison was made by sealing venomous creatures in a container and allowing them to eat each other. The last surviving larva would contain the poison. Yikes. And here's blister beetles. Used in sub-Saharan Africa for a variety of purposes, including medicine, killing people, and as an aphrodisiac. Insects in Native American mythology. Insects like bees, wasps, cicadas, butterflies, robber flies, crickets, and dragonflies are known as insect Ketchanas. Ketchana figures have specific roles and are often used in certain ceremonies. Symptoms begin within 2 to 4 hours of ingestion with sudden onset of hematemesis, of fresh blood, which is likely due to local irritation by the toxin. Hematemesis is either associated with or followed by agitation, impaired consciousness, or convulsions. These symptoms are followed by hematuria either on the first or second day. Death can occur within 48 hours, but the good thing about using a method using the pulp of one of these insects is that there isn't any trace of it post-mortem. Looks like liver gastro failure. They will have welts and dermatitis. And here is the chemical bonds. Is that what we're looking at? I don't know what we're actually looking at there. Okay, and maybe a website we need to remember to go to. In fact, maybe we don't have to remember it if we just go to it right now. Rhoda .com. Is that right? Oh boy. Okay. www.brodavamnas. Is that an E or a C? CKOMO.com. Nope. VAMNASEKOMO.com. Okay. Maybe it's just a way someone is hiding information. If someone in the chat can open this website up, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just add it to the anger column. I'll make a note here, a to-do note. Okay, now this looks interesting. A little evidence form of evidence collected from this van. 7 photos, August 11th. Fingerprints pulled from I-Haul cargo van, license plate DXB 968, rented under the name Betty Sheridan and Doug Sheridan. T is thumb index. Okay, so right thumb matched to Beck Bow. Left thumb matched to Maggie Hebert. So these are the two that signed up as Betty and so, the couple. It's really Bo and Maggie. And then we've got Marcus Davis, his fingerprint, passenger side slide door. Then we've got Jacob Hernandez prints on the back swing door. Right thumb, no record on file. No record on file. So we have a couple of fingerprints. We may want to see if, like, we have Marcus Davis, but his prints are already matched, so they're not going to be his. And then the other set we have is from Hernandez. And they've obviously matched those. So these unmatched ones, we don't have more fingerprints to match those to. Driver's cockpit area wiped clean. Partial prints found driver's side and 2 almost complete handprints, both found belonging to the missing officer, Eric Gear. Full thumb left 2-door interior. Partial hand, driver's side, Eric Gear. Partial hand right, driver's side wheel well, Eric Gear. There's the wheel well. And he's found a bunch of no records. Driver, partial hand, driver's side wheel well, driver's side back, Eric Gear. Driver's side. So he's lying down or something here, losing it. All right, we can study that more a little bit later. And we've got a big, long newspaper. I'm going to put the newspaper for a little bit later. Let me see what the rest of this is. Police report for public record. So here's August 7th through the 15th. It's got a website. I don't know if we're meant to go to that website. And here are the events. Floor alarm is armed. Door alarm is armed. Door alarm disarmed. So maybe end of the day, 2:30. They come in the next morning at 10 a.m. They disarm it to go to work. But then here they are arming it 6 minutes later. The floor. 40 minutes later, the door. Maybe they're going to lunch. And they arm it at the end of the day. They disarm it when they come back. They arm it at the end of the day. They disarm it when they come back. Arm at the end of the day. Disarm, arm, disarm, arm, disarm. Looks like their days are all ending around 6:15. Here's a 7:15 day. Coming in at 8, 8, 8, 7, 9. Here are some late days. So a little weird, some weird stuff going on here. Otherwise, disarming it in the morning, arming it at night. All right. And there's a customer number. So we could track this and see if this is the same. Let's see if this is the woman. Let's see if this is the woman with the voodoo shop. Customer number 748. Okay, so here she is, 748378 AS23. AS23. Okay, so this is for Sarah LeBlanc's shop. Lovey's, I guess. Whatever Sarah LeBlanc owns, this is her records of her arming and disarming. It didn't trigger ever. Look at this beautiful document. Boy, this is nice. I went to some real effort to make this. So it's the Crescent City Motel. Dates from... Oops. What are the dates from? 7/24 to 8/12. All right. Now, is the Crescent City Motel this motel that our cop is talking to? Crescent City Motel interview with Holly Madison, hotel manager. So she she tells us that these people check in under different aliases. Wow, looks like we might want to really study this, but essentially we have their license plates. In our records, we have 2 license plates we know to care about. Here they are. This was the van, and this was another car seen to be involved. So let's see. I don't know if here's our van. Prepaid in advance. Mirage Grabshi. We're told that that's the name she stayed under. No sign of our other cars, though. But we might have, if they filled it out, maybe we got a signature sample. I don't see any other. Any other, I don't see any other things. But what about prepaid in advance? Is it possible that we should be looking for that one? Like Shane and Linda. True guess in room 1. Oh, sure, there's more information on the sheet that's relevant to us. I don't see any names that jump out, though. Hmm. Anything jump out to anyone about these? Pamela Rogan writes the same A's the same way as Mirage Grabshi. Well, it's true. Mirage Grabshi has this upward writing, paid in advance. Pamela Logan, kind of similar. Why is there such a huge fee here? $2,000? 36 days. Early checkout refund of $12.10. Huh, that's weird. Paid for 36 days in advance and then checked out early. That is very weird. Well, that's another thing that's similar between Pamela Logan and Mirage Grabshi is how long their stays are. Everyone's staying for 1 or 2 days. Here's a 36-day stay, and here's a 19-day stay. I think you might have caught something that this Pamela Logan seems like it could be the same person. Interesting. Well, we'll have to keep that in mind as we keep going. Okay, Queen Lovely's follow the secret map of the infamous Black Caesar and his cursed gold. Cursed gold. The Black Caesar's hidden treasure. Scheduled tours Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 3, by appointment only. What was that place called? The Honey something, wasn't it? Okay. Go treasure hunting. Learn all about Queen Lovely's great-grandfather, the Black Caesar, where voodoo meets the high seas. Nelson says, I think we've seen Mirage's license plate before. Well, yeah, that's the van. That's the van. DXP 968, that's the van. We know about that. In the heart of the Caribbean, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a fiery glow over the waves, the infamous pirate known as the Black Caesar was plotting his next move. Once a slave, he had carved a name for himself on the high seas, known for his cunning tactics and unmatched bravery. However, the tales spun about him often missed the mark. Instead of burying his treasure in the Florida Keys, he had a different plan altogether. With over $1 billion worth of the legendary gold that glittering with all the sun and the moon in his hold, Black Caesar was not the one to play by the rules. After leaving Haiti in the dead of night, he summoned his dear friend, a loyal companion named Jacques, and entrusted him with a dangerous mission. Take this gold to the Keys, he instructed, a sly smile on his face. It's safer there. Both men knew there were spies among them. So as Jacques sailed away, Black Caesar turned his gaze westward and toward the lush, untamed shores of southern Louisiana, all the gold hidden in his boat's hull. He had dreams of a life filled with laughter, love, and freedom, far from the clutches of his pursuers. Soon he was joined by his beautiful wife, the Voodoo Queen Marie, and their spirited child, whom he adored more than all the gold in the world. Settling in the bayous, they found solace among the cypress trees and the whispers of the wind. The family thrived, and the local folk spoke of the mysteries surrounding their home. Rumors swirled about the tunnels that Black Caesar and his crew had dug beneath the swamp, a labyrinthian network that shimmered with the promise of hidden riches. Most of those tunnels eventually flooded with swamp water, but a few remained, shrouded in secrecy and eeriness. Marie, with her deep connection to the spiritual world, often shared her visions with Black Caesar. One night she awoke with a start, her eyes wide with fear. I had a dream, my love, she said, voice trembling. The gold we possess is cursed. If we keep it, it will turn our beautiful child mad. Black Caesar, a man of action, took her words to heart. He gathered his crew, and under the shimmering moonlight they began to dig once more. The swamp was their ally, its murky depths, concealing their treasure. They worked tirelessly, carving out secret chambers deep beneath the earth, where the gold would lay hidden from prying eyes and malevolent spirits. As time passed, the legend of the Black Caesar grew. Whispers of his treasure echoed through the bayous, attracting treasure hunters and adventurers from far and wide. But the tunnels remained elusive, filled with water and shadows, guarding the gold that Black Caesar had buried out of his love for his family. Years turned into decades, and the tales of the cursed treasure became folklore. Children played in the swamps pretending to be pirates, while families shared stories around flickering campfires. The Black Caesar, with his cunning and love, became a symbol of freedom and adventure, his true story intertwined with the magic of southern Louisiana. And so, The legend of the Black Caesar lives on, a tale of a man who defied the odds, not just as a pirate, but as a devoted husband and father whose greatest treasure lay not in gold, but in the love and life he built with his family amidst the swamps. So that's what the shop propagandizes about the history of that. Okay, and here we have a photograph that we don't know where it's from. It looks like a little witchcraft corner. Blood turned black and flesh turned blue, I will curse you if you force me to. I'll curse your eyes and I'll curse your lies. I'll call down a plague of flies. Blood burned black and flesh turned blue. You'll lie to a queen and she'll kill you. You'll lie to a queen and she'll kill you. So there's Mama Nessie, 1992. This is someone else. A baby. More relatives, I guess. And is this going to be Eric? Is this going to be our detective? Are these all pieces? These are all people she's put a curse on, and is this our guy? Is this our Eric? Is this our Eric Gear? Kind of looks like him, doesn't it? I think this is where she puts her voodoo curses on people. All right, so here we have the security in the campground that catches Marcus Davis taking a run. Remember, we were told that on August 8th, I thought it was August 8th, that Buccaneer State Park. I thought we were told that was August 8th. Xerox copy of suspect running provided from CCTV footage, Buccaneer State Park, August 9th, 4:56 p.m. I guess. Okay, so he's taking more walks, more runs every day. Anything odd about this? Okay, this is August 8th. This is the CCTV footage still that we asked about in the last episode, the guy to send us, 8:40 in the morning on August 8th, and he did. And I guess it's arrived on the 9th at 5 p.m. And even though this says 8/9, it's just because that's when he's prepared this printout for us. Boy, you really got to be on your toes with these. Okay, and here is Beck Bow and Margaret Hebert. These are the two that rented the van under false names. And now we've got fingerprints of them. So let's look at these. Let's get a good look. There's Beck Bow. And here he was here. Wanted for questioning in a kidnapping case. And Maggie Hebert was wanted by the FBI on multiple charges. Okay, and here they are. We've got their details. Pigment cells, both eyes. What does that mean? Tattoos in his eyes? 5-inch scar between shoulder blades. Sounds like a stabbing. Fireplace poker burn on left thigh. He's got some known aliases: Stan Clement, David Fain, Thatcher King, Christopher Smithson, and Doug Sheridan. Sheridan is the name he used when he rented the van. we might want to check, although we don't know the significance of those aliases in the hotel records. But really, we're looking for Pamela Logan. But we might want to look for some of these. Bo was born in Richmond, Virginia, may go home to see his mama for her birthday. Neighbors claim he comes every year. Bo is one of 13 children. Born March 14th, 1985. We don't know his mother's birthday, though. Okay, and then we have fingerprints. And here's Margaret. Okay, what is he wanted for? Armed robbery, kidnapping, assault, fraud, grand larceny, parole violation, rape, attempted aggravated murder. And here's his girlfriend, Margaret Bear. Unlawful flight, armed robbery, kidnapping, assault, conspiracy to commit fraud, grand larceny, parole violation, attempted aggravated murder. Let's gotta look at this lady. Okay. She's got a tattoo that says Des Profondeurs Nous Elevons. What does that mean? And a rattlesnake. Can someone translate this French? Des Profondeurs Nous Elevons. Okay, list of aliases. There's Maggie Bear, but we saw she signed under Mirage Grabshy. There's another. That's her one of her other aliases. This is the alias she signed in. Barry at the hotel. Betty Sheridan is what she rented the van under, and then Jane Topin was the receipt that we saw for the purchase of the acetone and bleach. So these two seem like they're at the center of all this. And we've tied this Margaret Hebert to a known alias, Jane Topin. And I wonder if we can't, Myra Hindley, Frances Crowley, Tilly. Let's just scan this quickly. I still think Pamela does seem like it. Okay, nothing jumps out there. Living in Chattanooga, Tennessee, has a degree in criminal psychology. She has a history of mental illness, lack of behavioral control, criminal sexual activity. Wanted for questioning in the 2019 kidnapping and disappearance of Marvin Kuntz. Witness saw Hebert flirting with Kuntz while she was bartending at Kyle's Barbecue and Suds under the alias Jane Topin. Kuntz went missing soon that evening. If you have any information, contact your local FBI. All right, these two are dangerous, but from the depth we rise is the translation, says the chat. From the depths we rise. All right, let's take our first break. I'll see you in 8 minutes. Let's check in with the chat and see how everyone's doing. So many rabbit holes with the aliases listed. They appear to be all references to infamous people. I'm a fan of the paperwork created, the wanted posters, all that. I'm super happy you smelt the sage. I'm allergic. I am not a fan of smells and stuff. I noticed at the supermarket, there's a local supermarket here called Meijer, and they have now like maybe a 30-foot rack of scented candles, like 8-foot high, 30-foot long scented candles. I don't know what it is with women and scented candles. Like, that's the word. I don't know. I don't want any of that in my house. In fact, it's very frequent if you buy something from eBay or used games, you get a box and it has a very strong perfume or like scented candle smell. I don't like any smells in my house. All of the laundry detergent is scent free. There's no scented candles, none of that. I don't understand that way of living, to be honest. All right. Transcript of 9/11 call. Placed by Jim Cash, Thursday, August 22nd, 9:18 a.m. Transcribed by Dawn Resnick, New Orleans Department of Public Safety. 911 operator. 911, what's your emergency? Hey, hello? I need help. I just found a body. A body? Sir, can you expand on what you are seeing? Is it a man's body? A woman's body? Have you checked to see if they're breathing? No, it's a man and he's dead. It's a dead body. Okay, can you tell me the situation? Are you in danger? I'm not in danger. I'm a construction worker and we've just broke ground and we hit some kind of old tunnel or sinkhole. This guy's here. He's leaning up against the wall. My first thought was, why is this enormous guy asleep down here? And then I came to my senses and got scared because so much earth fell down on top of him when we broke through the ground. Okay, sir. What do you mean by enormous, and can you tell me what's the address where you're located? Apple Pie Ridge Road between 190 and Chef Mentor. We're building a new development out there. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I don't think I'm thinking straight. This guy is bloated like a balloon. Has anyone tried to check and see if he's breathing? I yelled at him. He didn't respond, so I went over there and he's dead. Stone cold dead. Smells real bad. I think he's been here for a while. I'm dispatching officers. What's your name, sir? Jim Cash, and I work for Pearl River Builders. Okay, Jim. Do you see anything else around? No, ma'am. I put a ladder and climbed down, but I only see him down here. It's real dark. It's a mess. Looks to be a tunnel going in both directions. Sir, if I could ask you to leave the area, the police are about 2 minutes away from your location. Oh, it's real creepy down there. All right, Jim, if you could just come on out of the tunnel for your safety. Okay, I don't know how he got here. I'm shining my flashlight down here and there ain't no footprints down this east tunnel where the old shaft was. Thank you, Jim. I'll pass that information along. Please, if you could, come out of that hole so the officers can preserve the scene for investigation. I'm going to ask you to let the police know when they arrive that you've been down inside there near the subject. Okay, I'm coming out. I see the police SUVs. I'll go get them and show them over. Thank you for calling, Jim. Take care. Okay, so obviously they brought him in the tunnels and then they were just going to leave him there, or he escaped down the tunnels and died. But what is this thing about the footprints? He says, there ain't no footprints down this east tunnel where the old shaft was. So when we got the scene, picture, she said this was the south wall, north, south, west, east. Okay, and he looks like, I guess he's broken in somewhere here. And he's said, look, there's no footprints here in the east tunnel. So they came from the west, which is over here. That's all he's saying. Okay. All right, now this looks like a report on his death, the death of Eric Greer. Boy, that's Eric Gear. That's pretty sad. He was 33 years old. Eric James Gear. There's his phone numbers. There's his fake phone number. There's burner phone. Worked for the New Orleans Police Department. Identified by his partner, Maeve O'Sullivan. She found his ID and she could identify him by appearance. No next of kin on file. Victim appears to have been trapped underground without food or water. The witness who we just heard from on the 911 call is Jim Cash. He's got his phone number, his address where he lives. Breaking ground for foundation for a tract housing project. Ground gave way to large tunnel below. All right, let's see. What else do we got here? It's been assigned to homicide. Maeve O'Sullivan. Found in tunnel. Body is a black male in his late 30s. They keep saying late 30s when it's early 30s. Doesn't matter. Body was discovered in an underground tunnel. No animals have disturbed the body at first sight. Body shows decay, possible death inflicted by starvation. Single set of footprints inside tunnel. No other footprints found. No one brought him in there. He escaped and died in there. Or he, whatever, they just let him run free to die. Body of Detective Gear shows no evidence of shooting, stabbing, strangulation, or beating. Medical examiner will check for foreign hairs, fibers, or body biological fluids present. The preliminary search of the scene shows no life-threatening trauma, except for signs of breaks to his fingers and knuckles to both hands. Indicate victim had been punching a wall. Victim appears to have been trapped underground for more than 12 days, possibly dead for 10 due to bloating that normally occurs 8 to 10 days after death. Body is turned green to red as the blood decomposes and the organs in the abdomen accumulate gas. Both his nails and teeth are beginning to fall out. Possible death by starvation, heart attack, stroke, or any number of undetectable killers will need to be determined by autopsy. Appropriately clothed, yes. Drugs involved, unknown. Alcohol, unknown. Valuables bag sent to lab. Valuables were pen, paper, and a travel mug. He's got a travel mug with him? Kind of weird. Okay. Now we've got a shoe print for Eric here. 2,500 prints? 2,500 prints? That's a lot of prints. Really? 2,500? Was he trapped in this one tunnel for 10 days? That diagram didn't look like 2,500 prints. Seems like a lot. All right, here's the toxicology report. High permeability toxic level, high degree of certainty. They took a liver sample, 50-gram tissue. Same thing as before. Okay, victim ingested poisonous substance voluntarily. No scarring, bruising, needle marks, or points of injection. Throat shows no signs of choking due to forced swallowing. Extensive mouth blistering. Liver sample show toxin entered body, began absorption exactly 15 days, 6 hours, 11 minutes, 29 seconds before the time of test. The test took place on August 23rd, 2024 at 3:15:25 p.m. So it's the same exact calculation we're going to make to find out when he was poisoned. All right, and it's the same exact description. And here's the chemical compound, which we remember from this little diagram. And it's the blister beetles again. Same exact summary here. All right, let's do our calculation again. You guys can, if you can find the website that does it, you can do it officially. I guess I'll do it manually again. Okay, test took place August 23 at 3:15:25 p.m. If my brain is still functioning. All right, so we want to subtract from that 15 days, 6 hours, 11 minutes, 29 seconds. So 25 minus, how did I do it? I did it a little easier. I feel like when I did it the first time, my brain was fresh and now it's all broken. Okay, so we borrow a minute to add 60 here to make this 85. 85 minus 29 is 56. 14 minus 11 is 3. 3 minus 6 won't go, so we borrow a day. We add 24 hours. That becomes 27 minus 6 is 19 and 7 days. 7 days, 19 hours, 3 minutes, 56 seconds. Or rather, August 7, 19. Why did I get 1903? 1903 p.m. We started at p.m. So if I look at the chat calculation, I get 27 minus 6 is 21. Yes, you're quite right. But why? Okay, so I've got a calculation. Joseph Mayu has a calculation that's not the same as mine. So someone has to explain that to me, whether you've looked it up online. I get August 7 at 9:03:56 p.m. But I guess we're going to have to do a calculation here. Let's see. August 23rd. August 23rd at 3:15:25 p.m. minus 15 days, 6 hours, 11 minutes, 29 seconds. 6 hour, 15 days, 6 hours, 11 minutes, 29 seconds. The resulting date is August 8th, 9:03:56 a.m., which is what Joseph Mayu looked up. All right, so why did I get the wrong answer? That's kind of shameful. Wow, I'm really seeing some fatigue here in my brain functioning. All right. The ironic thing is not that I'm failing to do this date subtraction. The ironic thing is that I got it right on our first time we saw this, and I somehow broke my brain and forgot how to do it the second time. Trying to subtract 15 days, 6 hours, 11 minutes, 29 seconds. So what I did was guess I went August 8th, but then I can't subtract this. So I have to go back one more. That brings me August 7th. But I can add 24 hours here. Then I get 9 p.m. Why am I having so much trouble with this? guess it's walking me through it here. Let me see how it suggests to do this. Yikes. Well, I'm certainly not going to do in my head by seconds. I see. It's PM and AM. That's... Yes. Okay, good. That's good. That's I appreciate that. That is the answer. That is the answer to doing the math. August 23rd at 3:15 p.m., but the AM PM is what screws you up. So write it out in military time. So 3:15 p.m. is actually 15:15:25. There we go. Now we're subtracting 15, 6, 11, 29. All right, well, that makes things a lot easier, doesn't it? Then we get August 7 at 9 a.m., 0900. But then we have to subtract here. That gets us 03 plus our 60 turns this to 85, which brings us down to what we said before, which is 56. 903.56. Okay, good. August 8th, yes. Okay. All right, at least the math is clear, and it's the 24-hour. Okay, boy. We're learning new things about fatigue and failure to think, failure to be able to cognitively process. I feel like I normally don't show too much cognitive fatigue on this channel, but I think we're seeing it here. Okay, but I think that 24-hour clock thing, that was the key to what was messing up my time calculations, and I appreciate it. Okay. Let's move along. Thank you for the channel. How the channel stuck it out and didn't add to my frustration, but helped it. Okay, here's Chief Medical Examiner's report. Let's see what we've got here. All of a sudden, he's aged 34. Is it my imagination, or are weird things happening with this game and details? Eric Gear is aged 33 here and is reported as being in his late 30s. And now when we get to here, he's turned 34. Okay, location of death, 45 feet underground, nearest marked address, 97 Live Oak, Slidwell. Body viewed by medical examiner, let's see. Complete autopsy or rigor was complete. Brown with red spots, liver mort in his liver, blood in his nose and mouth and in his stomach, skin stomach. Gastrointestinal and kidney failure, coma, death, hematemesis, blistering of mouth, tongue, and oral pharynx. Severe dehydration, scrapes to hands, legs, and feet, missing fingernails, mud caked on hands from digging, frontal subdural hematoma likely caused by a fall during hours in the dark. Toxins, cantharidin, toxicosis, undetected in trace blood after 48 hours, traces of bloody vomit along with kidney failure, conclusive with poison. So they ruled it a homicide. Signed by Edward Schulke, MD. So the reason they've got the ages different is this one has him born in 19 whatever this crazy thing says. This seems to say 91. 91. We're not going to worry about that. All right. Well, we've got a newspaper article, and that's the last piece of evidence here. And then our assignment is basically the same as before, except in reversed order. What was the toxin made from, and what subject can we eliminate? So same exact thing. We're eliminating one of the suspects, and he's died of the insect poisoning again, I guess. I mean, what was the toxin made from? Queen Lovely's turns 100. All right, New Orleans Weekly. This is a little over a year old, this paper. So again, not a current paper, but an older paper. All right, let's read this. We had pretty good luck doing it this way before, didn't we? All right, let's try it this way. In the heart of Slidell's Old Town District lies a century-old establishment with a rich, enigmatic history. This is not just any tourist shop, it's Queen Lovely's, a voodoo shop founded by legendary Lovely LeBlanc, a lifelong resident of Slidell and celebrated voodoo queen. Now, as the shop celebrates its 100th anniversary, the tales of pirates' gold, unearthly curses, and the tragic fate of the LeBlanc women continue to stir the imaginations of locals and tourists alike. Lovely LeBlanc was born in the late 1800s to Henry Caesar, the infamous high seas pirate called the Black Caesar, and his wife, the voodoo queen Marie LeBlanc. Raised among New Orleans mysticism and voodoo traditions, Lovely's gift for the supernatural quickly became apparent. By her early 20s, she had gained a reputation for her knowledge of herbs, charms, and powerful spells, and was soon regarded as a voodoo queen like her mother, a title that came with both respect and fear. It was in 1923 that Lovely, determined to preserve her knowledge and legacy, turned her childhood home at 101 Live Oak Drive into Queen Lovely's, moving her family to a large home on the bank of the Pearl River. The shop was a sanctuary for the city's inhabitants, offering everything from potions, oils, and talismans to spiritual readings and life-changing advice. Despite its eerie reputation, it became a beloved institution in the New Orleans area, visited by those seeking love, luck, and protection, as well as those who sought answers from the spirit world. The story of Queen Lovely's is intertwined with another legend, that of a hidden treasure. According to local folklore, Lovely's father Henry had buried a fortune in gold in a series of tunnels under Slidell and surrounding areas in the 19th century. The treasure, believed to be stolen from a Spanish ship, was said to be cursed. Rumors swirled that Lovely sought out and found some of the treasure, and locals believe she used the wealth to fund her shop and strengthen her magical powers. The remaining fabled coins were discovered and excavated in June of 2014 by treasure hunters from Maine and are in a permanent collection at the Metropolitan Museum of Artifacts in Boston. They'll be on display in a traveling exhibit coming to the Louisiana Museum of Art sometime next year, which is this year. The ties to pirates' treasure and the supernatural became central to the mystique of Queen Lovely's. After her passing in 1982, many believe the spirit of Queen Lovely herself lingered nearby, adding to the shop's allure and its mysterious atmosphere. the curse on the LeBlanc women. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of the LeBlanc legacy is the so-called curse that has plagued the women of the family for generations. According to family lore, every woman born into the LeBlanc line was destined for tragedy. This pattern began with Lovely losing several pregnancies until finally giving birth to her daughter, Erzulie. She then lost her husband and son. Erzulie died in childbirth when she was only 22 years old, and her daughter, Neve, struggled with mental health throughout her life, spending many years in and out of the local asylum. Neve died in childbirth with her only daughter, Nessie. The curse seemed unbreakable, and many believed it was tied to the pirate gold, perhaps a dark force that followed the family through the generations. Today, the LeBlanc family is down to one, Sarah LeBlanc, daughter of Nessie and Lovely's great-great-granddaughter. While Nessie did not die in childbirth, she lost twin boys when they were toddlers and died suddenly of a mysterious heart complication after the sale of the family's Pearl River plantation. Rumors of the curse persist, and the shop's patrons whisper of strange happenings, including unexplained deaths and eerie visions surrounding the women who've worked in the store over the years. The shop today, a place of mystery and reverence. Now, as the shop celebrates its centennial anniversary, Quinn Lovely's remains a cornerstone of New Orleans' spiritual community. Visitors can still purchase talismans, love spells, and protective charms, while the air is thick with the scent of jasmine, patchouli, and incense. Tarot readings are offered in the dimly lit back room, and visitors from all over the world seek guidance from the store's owner, Sarah LeBlanc, who inherited the shop in 2014. Sarah is known for her deep knowledge of voodoo and her ability to commune with the spirits, but she too is haunted by the stories of the family curse. She lost her mother as well as her uncle Edwin Landry to violent death. Never really knew her father, Charles Hebert, a Nashville con man and notorious criminal. Sarah continues to run the shop, ensuring that the family legacy is upheld. To this day, she wears a gold coin pendant given to her by her great-great-grandmother, said to be a piece of the pirate's treasure as a symbol of protection in defiance of the family curse. Unbroken but unchanged. The history of Queen Lovely's is a tapestry of magic, mystery, and misfortune. Whether or not the curse truly exists, there's no denying that the living tribute there's no denying that the shop itself remains an enduring symbol of the powerful and mysterious forces that shape New Orleans. In all of its tragedy and triumph, it remains a living tribute, its namesake, and to the women who have carried on the family's mystic traditions. Many locals, particularly those with ties to the city's voodoo culture, believe that the shop itself is more than just a store. It's a spiritual beacon, a place where the veil between the living and the dead is thin. For those willing to seek out its secrets, Queen Lovely's offers more than just trinkets and spells. It offers a chance to connect with the untold history of New Orleans, where pirates, curses, and magic come together in a tangled web that refuses to be unraveled. All right, before we continue to page 2, so Sarah LeBlanc, there's our girl. That's one of our suspects. But there's two things that are really interesting here. First of all, it says she wears this coin, which we have found in this van, in the wheel well. I wonder if that means our guy here, when they kidnapped him, if he didn't pull it off her or something. This was her protective amulet. She's obviously lost it, or something happened to her. But then the other thing that's so interesting is she lost her uncle Edwin Landry. That's the guy that died in 2014, the Gator guy was her uncle. But not only that, her father is Charles Hebert, a Nashville con man who's obviously related to Margaret Hebert. Her father is probably this girl's father too. So this girl, Margaret Hebert, is likely to be Sarah's half-sister, sister by another mother. Don't you think? So we've got a real connection between Sarah LeBlanc and Maggie Hebert are probably sisters, stepsisters, or I don't know what the name for it is. Sisters by another mother. They share the same father. All right, let's continue reading. We were told about this piece of the treasure map. Half-sister, that's what you call it. The story of the map that changed everything. Hold on a second. Let me check in with the chat here. Their stepsister. One person says half-sister, one person says stepsister. You know what I've noticed? I am unreasonably demanding of the chat. I am unreasonably critical. Like if you were in a room with 5 people and you said, who knows when this movie came out? And one person said, like, I think it was 1990. And one person says, I think it was 1992. You wouldn't throw a fit. You'd say, okay, that person says 1990. They're guessing from their knowledge. And that person who's in that chair across from me says 1992. But for me, like the chat is one person. It's like one entity. So when I look in the chat and I see half-sister and the other person says stepsister, I get angry. I'm like, why is this entity giving me contradictory information like a broken robot? But it's different people in the chat. But for me, it's like, I can't tolerate mistakes. From a real person, you could get things wrong. But for me, it's like the chat, God forbid anyone ever says anything that's wrong in the chat. Stepsisters, sisters like Brady Bunch family blended. Is that what stepsisters? Okay, then it was stepsisters would only be by one marriage. Half is by blood, sharing a parent. So they're half sisters. I say they're half sisters, that they are related by blood, these two. Because none of them says stepfather, and they've got the names. But you never, I guess we don't really know. Okay. I'm allowed to make mistakes. Was I not clear about that? I am allowed to make mistakes, but the chat cannot make mistakes or even be unclear. Then you must be crystal clear and no mistakes allowed. All right, let's get back to reading. I am curious about this treasure map. The story of the map that changed everything. Almost a decade ago, in a remarkable twist of fate, 2 crumpled pieces of a treasure map were discovered nestled within the base of a carved drum artifact, on display at the Smithsonian's Haitian Historical Studies section. This seemingly mundane discovery ignited a frenzy among treasure hunters and historians alike, as the torn papers matched up to unveil a tantalizing glimpse into the past and the legendary lost treasure of the infamous pirate known as the Black Caesar. The drum, a relic brought to the United States in the early 1800s, now serves as a symbol for untold stories and forgotten secrets. For centuries, the legend of Black Caesar, a formidable pirate who terrorized the Caribbean and then settled in New Orleans, had captivated imaginations, but the actual whereabouts of his riches remained a mystery. At one point, Florida was even considered a distant hope for recovering the gold, and adventurers scoured its landscape in vain for any sign of the elusive fortune. The two fragments of the map came together to reveal a section of Louisiana and Mississippi. Although it was still missing a large corner, the upper right piece revealed a small symbol called a veve. The veve legba in Haitian voodoo means the guardian of the gates. The single mark led the adventurers to a long unused flooded entrance of a tunnel that stretched across the Mississippi border into Louisiana, seemingly ending at the Pearl River Plantation, formerly owned by Queen Lovely. The rumors of secret tunnels had been circulating for years, drawing treasure seekers from around the globe, but none had ever been found. The tunnel was excavated, and roughly $5 million worth of pirate gold was discovered, scattered throughout the miles of swamp-soaked floors. 7 years later, in 2021, the saga was reignited when the final portion of the map was discovered under the floorboards at Queen Lovely's shop. That portion of the map revealed that there were indeed several more tunnel entrances, as well as the words "De profondeurs nous elevons," the exact same thing that this girl has got tattooed on her forearm. This saying, which is French for "from the depths we rise." The same adage adorns a sign that hangs loosely above the cash register in the shop and can also be found tattooed on the forearm of Sarah LeBlanc. Sarah and Margaret both have it tattooed on them. These two wicked sisters. She shared those very words have been spoken over the head of every female born in her family, with the hope that someday the curse that looms over the descendants of her great-great-great-grandfather would be driven away. Meanwhile, LeBlanc has done her best to discourage the would-be gold diggers from searching for any more of her family's buried booty due to the unsafe conditions of the ancient tunnels. But the thrill of discovery hangs in the air even now, and the legacy of Black Caesar continues to draw people into the heart of history. As we celebrate the 100th year of one of our local treasures, Queen Lovely's, we also reflect on the woman behind the story and how she brought the rich voodoo history to our very special corner of the Louisiana Bayou. The Smithsonian's unexpected find not only opens a window into the rich tapestry of Haitian history, also serves as a reminder of the enduring allure of piracy and adventure. As the search for Black Caesar's treasure eventually unfolded, it invited a broader conversation about the intersection of history, myth, and the relentless human quest for discovery. In the end, the real treasure may lie not in the gold coins themselves, but in the connections forged between the past and the present, as we collectively seek to understand and celebrate our shared history. LeBlanc grins sheepishly, saying, "Whether curses or gold, it's terrific for tourists who come for a little who do you voodoo." There's an ad for the Gator Man with a phone number, a website which seems to probably be a real website that's not going to have game-related information on us. But we do have a new phone number for this guy. Maybe I'll write that down. case we need it. And this paper is a year ago. Then we've got movie. So they're all related, right? It's not only that she and this girl, it's not only that these two are related. Hébert and Sarah LeBlanc are like stepsisters, not stepsisters, half-sisters, but also she claims that she's got to be related to Ellis Landry too, because her uncle was his father. Her uncle, her father's brother was this guy's father, cousin. So Ellis is her cousin. These two are cousins. Two cousins and half sister. All right, now we've been through all the evidence. So it's time for us to figure out the answers to these. I like this position that we're in where when I say this, I don't already know the answer. Like somehow the documents are dense enough that we have to go back and scan them to find a suspect we can eliminate. But it seems like the toxin is still from the beetles, right? I mean, the only suggestion anywhere that we have a different toxin is this thing that talks about some generic venoms, but it's all blister beetles all the way down. It's turtles all the way down. We don't know what this means. Maybe he's just saying S. There's multiple tunnels, not just one tunnel, tunnels. Is it possible that the tunnels are in this pattern of this drug? Either way, it seems to me that we know it's the beetles. So, so we need an alibi now, a timeline alibi probably. All right, so he's taken the poison August 8th at 9 a.m. 9:03 a.m. So we're looking for someone who's got a big chunk of alibi around that time. All right, how are we going to find that alibi? 8/8. Remember, he was at the campground. So I think we know the answer right now, don't we? Do you know the answer? I believe I do know the answer. The guy running. That's right. That's right. I believe that's our answer right there. We're told he's running, and we almost eliminated him based on that for the last time, but we didn't have a narrow enough time of death of our poison ingestion for our cop. But now that we have a specific time of 9:03 in the morning, and we can see that our guy was out running at 8:47 a.m. on that morning of the 8th. And we remember from our research in the last episode that this is at least 3 miles away from the campground. So 3 miles, how fast do you jog 3 miles? Will take you longer than 16 minutes. 3 miles, if you walked it, would take you an hour. If you jogged it quickly, would take you a half hour. You'd have to run it quite fast. A 5-minute mile is only 15 minutes, says Melissa. A 5-minute mile is a very fast mile. A 5-minute mile is no joke. And he's running in the other direction, you'll remember. So it's just not feasible that he's going to run back by that time. And it's not even 3 miles, it's over 3 miles. He's running in the opposite direction at 8:47. And she records that the campsite is 3.25 miles away. I don't think it's likely, especially since he's going in the other direction. I think that's his alibi. I don't think he is an athlete, it's true, but he's not on a wooded trail. That's a good point. It is a wooded trail, not a paved straightaway. Yeah, I don't think he's in the other direction. Yeah, I think that's our alibi. I think that's our alibi right there. I don't think we're going to get an alibi for anyone else. I mean, they're all sort of in that area. So I think that's our answer. Let's try. If we get it wrong, then we'll sit back and think about other things. Otherwise, let's not overthink it here. All right, so we're going to go to our web page here. And we're on a mobile device, so everything does what it wants to do. Okay, let's close these other things. We never got that web page open. That's fine. So lots of details we didn't really understand about this, but maybe we don't need to. Okay, hints and tips, the answers digital game, the suspects. I'm even afraid to click on this. Like, I don't even know what. Click on the suspect. Like, are we supposed? Can we read this for fun? Is it for the digital game? The answers for the digital game are different from the answers. All right, file 2. Eliminate a suspect and what was the toxin. So this is what we're doing here. Okay, so password protected. Enter your password. Okay, so this is our Davis guy that we're ruling out, and presumably we don't want his full name, his middle name, but we want this name, Marcus Davis. Marcus Davis. Marcus was very high on my list of suspects. The guy has had a terrible time dealing with the rise and fall of his career and was incredibly violent. The other thing that made me almost sure he could have been our main suspect was the bartender interview. In the Travis Klein investigation, both Eric and I had discussed his many motives on several occasions. The only problem is that Marcus couldn't have poisoned Eric because after reviewing the CCTV footage and knowing the distance from where they were camping and where he was running at that time, Marcus could have never gotten back to the campsite in time to do it. I need to figure out what the poison was made from now. It could help me figure out where it originated and lead me to the killer. Now, this is a weird thing. There's some discussion in the chat about them changing the game once we published it. But this absolutely feels odd because we've already we've already been basically told what the toxin was. What was the toxin made from? And I guess the best answer is the blister beetle. Presumably that's what it wants us to type. What was it made from? Like, is there any other form of an answer that it could want? Kind of weird, but okay, I guess I'm going to type blister beetles. Beetle. Guess we'll try a couple different versions of this. Blister beetle. The poison was obviously made from a blister beetle. I guess someone crushed it into a powder and he ate it. I'm not sure. I do know that the page Eric said he stole from Ellis's office was a fluke clue. I think he took it because it had Travis Klein's name written on it. Now I'm not sure. The page Eric said he stole from Ellis's office was a fluke clue. What are they talking about? Does anyone know what they're talking about? The page that Eric said he stole from Ellis's office. Eric stole a page from Ellis's office. Who is Ellis? I need someone to remind me what they're talking about. I think he took it because it had Travis Klein's name on it. Now I'm not sure. I don't really understand what we're going on about here. Ellis Landry. Okay, Ellis Landry is the son of the Gator Man. What page did he steal from Ellis's office? I don't get that. Is it talking about some item that we don't have? There seems to be a willingness in this game to talk about things that we don't know about yet. So I wonder if this isn't talking about something we haven't even seen yet. Because I don't think we know anything about this. I mean, now at least we know Ellis is the Gator guy. But I don't think we've heard about that document. Well, this was a short episode, 2 hours or so. I sure would like to know Do you think it's this sheet? Travis called here looking for Marcus. And we don't know what the meaning of this is if it's not a real website. Okay, this is it, because this is a secret note that our undercover left for his partner Maeve. So he hid this note, and what is this note does? It says tunnels, but it's also something he stole. And this is a page he stole from Ellis's office. So Ellis, who's, I think we're told somewhere, the family studies insects. So this is Ellis's writing. And Ellis is researching about blister beetle drugs. Now, what this is about, I don't know. It's worth thinking about this. Well, yeah, it's the chemical symbol for this drug, or it's the tunnel map. I mean, but it's the chemical symbol for the drug that we've seen in the toxicology. Oh, this very good catch. Karja says that this website that we've noticed has some suspicion, we couldn't get to open, is the website on this page I have underneath. So there you go. That solved that mystery. Excellent. So Sarah orders this. It's the blister beetles. And so Ellis Landry is also researching blister beetles and also researching this website where you can get them. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Like, why are they both? Are they researching this together to use it together, or is someone setting someone else up? They're all related. Okay. A nice quick session. Now we have to make another decision. We're in the same position we were 4 hours ago. So I put it to you again. Does this group want to take an hour break and come back and play the third episode? Or, as we planned, should we play the third episode tomorrow afternoon and give a chance to some of the people who missed this session to be able to watch it and catch up before our third and final session? That seems like probably the best thing we should do. But we still have to decide. Assuming we decide that we're not going to continue this tonight and we'll continue it tomorrow for the finale, you still have to decide what time tomorrow. Well, you can't play it between 1 and 3. That's our Dear Holmes schedule. So we could meet at, 10 a.m. and hope to finish it in time. or more likely we meet at 3 p.m. Melissa says I need a break. You can tell that I need a break. All right. So we're going to meet tomorrow and play it. And I think we'll do 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. There you go. Executive decision. Hopefully that works for you. All right. Much less painful this time. Still a little odd that the questions seem straightforward. We've seen this in some games. There are some mystery games where the actual questions to advance the case are not particularly difficult. But we still don't know if the final mystery is going to be difficult for us to solve. Sounds like we got a whole family of poisoners, but we really don't know what crime they're covering up, other than if this treasure, they want to get their hands on it, or they're faking it. Based on the death of the first guy who was talking too much, it seems like there is a real treasure that they're trying to get. Okay, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow afternoon, we'll play the finale of this game. And 2 hours before that, at 1 p.m., we'll be reading the Dear Holmes finale. So tomorrow will be a day of finales. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for saving me this session. I really could not have done it without you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. or 1 p.m., depending if you're joining me for Dear Holmes. See you then.